Good morning and welcome to Courageous Journeys. Today I'm really thrilled to have two amazing dancers here with me today. I have a representative from Dolce Dance Studio here in Fresno, and I also have Shirley Winters from Shirley Winters Ballet. And how apropos it was this morning that on my way here, Don't Stop the Music was playing. So it really made me laugh and get in a good mood because I love dancing too. So I'm thrilled to have our guests here today. Our first guest is Shirley Winters, and Shirley Winters, after dancing for 15 years on her own, started teaching her teaching career at local dance studios, and then realized that she had a vision of her own, so started her own dance studio. Now she currently shares a location with Dolce Dance, so that works out really good for both studios, so that they can students have the benefit of both types of dance form. So without further ado, let's welcome Shirley Winters and get to finding out more about it. Thanks for coming, Shirley.
Thank you
I appreciate
so
it. Bright and early, we're all like trying to get here for the traffic. So I am fortunate enough that I have two children that have been attending the dance studio over there.
Yeah.
You've only had one of them as a student.
Oh,
But we feel blessed. You're doing an amazing job.
Thank you.
And I'm really excited to learn more about, how you started out teaching. But let's go further back and find out what inspired you to dance and who encouraged you to dance.
I really can't remember. I have done nothing else.
But dance.
And I thought of nothing else, and I have no clue why. But I have done, I went to nursing school, but because I had to. But I've only done dance. And so I've studied it all my life, been a teacher, performer, and I had no desire to do anything else, even though I had parents who said, it's nursing or it's teaching. Back in my day, those were our secretary.
Mm-hmm.
And I went through the nursing program, left. I didn't take my boards and left to Paris and danced there. So I don't know where I got the idea.
So when you went to Paris, you had been dancing how long?
About 15 years.
Okay.
So I was, 22 or something like that, and I was supposed to take my boards for the RN, and I said, I'm not going to do this. And I went to Paris, and I danced there for just a period of time, like 3 or 4 months, and I enjoyed myself greatly and danced with Paris Opera for a little bit there and took classes every day.
What a blessing that was.
Yes.
Paris is a beautiful city.
Yes, it is. I haven't been back. I'm going to someday.
Yeah, you got to get back and relive those good memories.
Yes.
So after Paris, then you came back to the U.S.? Or?
Yes, and I danced in L.A., and I danced in Oakland, and I married a sculptor, and we both tried to make a living in the arts, and we lived here because it was an expensive rent, and I traveled and did my work whenever I could and came back and taught here. I taught at several studios until I realized I better do my own thing because I'm not a good employee because I have too much of an idea about what I want to do.
Right. Well, a lot of us are like that, even though we are really good workers, being an employee is a whole different thing because you can't follow necessarily the way that you think things should be done. And some of us have some really strong opinions, and we're better employers than we are employees.
Or I have my own vision and I want to do it that way, and so it gets a little bit difficult when somebody has a different one.
Yeah. So what is your vision?
Well, I love to create an atmosphere for people, and I don't mean just children, anybody who wants to learn art form, delayed gratification, discipline, and just a love of movement. And so those are some things I incorporate in my class. I design the class to stimulate those visions in their body, in their mind, and in their spirit.
And I know she mentioned not just children. What I've noticed is that your classes have all age ranges.
Yes, I teach in a way that isn't done often in classical ballet, but I find it to be, I don't know, it's kind of inspiring. I'll have adults, young children, teenagers, but the level of the class is what defines the class, not the age. And the older students help the younger students. The younger students are inspiring and fun for the older students, and we just come together almost like a family. And what binds us in that moment is the discipline of that experience. And it's surprising what happens in that atmosphere.
Well, last week I was really proud of one mom and happy for her that her daughter was letting her dance with her, because Kiki, my daughter, was mortified when I said, I want to take ballet with you. Oh, no, Mom. But she was doing a fantastic job. I don't know if she was a dancer prior and she's coming back, but
I think
it was
most
nice
of them are
to
all
see.
just trying, their daughter's there or their son's there, because we do have that too, and they just want to take that hour class. Now that doesn't work as much in the more advanced level classes, because that would take somebody who had trained for a while, but in those lower level classes, it's a good opportunity.
And so where are you taking your students? I know my daughter's just a beginner pretty much. She's only been dancing just over a year, but how advanced? You're involved in some competitions and things?
Well, I've had students who've gone on to compete at the Prix de Lausanne in Switzerland. I have students who've gone on to compete at the Jackson, Mississippi competition. These are international ballet competitions. We do Youth America Grand Prix, and that's an international ballet competition. In other words,
and that's just ballet at that competition?
It's basically ballet based. It's contemporary dance and ballet. And it has a syllabus of a type of classical repertoire you have to perform. So you get to pick out of 30 dances that are well-known choreographers. And
so you're not choreographing for those?
Well, we do, because the contemporary side of it is whatever we want to do. But it has two sections to it. It has a classical and a contemporary. And that's an international ballet competition, and we went to New York last year with 6 of our students. And
exciting.
It was exciting, and it's an amazing experience because they have a gala, and the best dancers from all over the world perform in that gala, as well as the winners of that competition.
And so they get to watch people that have been dancing longer than themselves as well,
right? And this is performed at the Lincoln Center in New York. So it is a major thing to go to, and it's sold out, and it's just a wonderful experience.
Is it expensive for the children to attend? Is there any kind of scholarships for maybe those that have financial issues? Or
Absolutely. I happen to have a student right now that when I was in San Mateo, the director of Youth America Grand Prix called me to the judges table and asked me about one of my students, and asked me if I would be interested in a summer program for that particular student, because they felt like that student was the kind of talent they're looking for that program. So that's the beauty of Youth America Grand Prix. If you have that kind of a talent in your class and in your performance, and they spot it, they can help connect those children to an opportunity that would not be otherwise.
Oh, that's fantastic. I know that's probably what a lot of parents, I haven't been part of that world, but are hoping for their children, that they see that gift in them, and that they have the ability.
Most of them don't have it because we're all the people dancing. But once in a while,
some kids
do.
Right now, you both studios have a couple of dancers that are very young that have a lot of natural talent, natural ability, and that's exciting. That's exciting to see. So let's go back to choreography, because I always loved to. I would fantasize about being able to do choreography, which I noticed my mom came into the studio and would attest to that. But do you enjoy choreography?
It's my favorite part. Of course, I love that part of it. I have to be careful because I have sometimes I want to be intellectual about it, and I have children who are, when they're performing in Youth America Grand Prix, these are children up to the age of 18, and so I need to think of what would be a part of their world and appropriate.
Yeah, that's funny you should say that, because I noticed that some of the dance moves, especially like in lyrical, when they're trying to express anguish or whatever, those kids don't even know what anguish is, and you can tell.
Yes.
You can tell the difference between an adult possibly, or somebody who's gone through something traumatic, to be able to express that through their body movement versus someone who.
Well, that's where acting comes into play. You don't have to die to do a death scene. So, you can be an actor or an actress.
Yeah, a lot of us aren't actors. I'm not very good at acting at all. So, so choreographing. Are you working on something right now?
Always. We have.
Always.
We're getting ready for our Youth America Grand Prix and our spring gala. I do 2 galas a year. I also am choreographing for the Nutcracker here in Fresno. So I have a show in April, and I have a show next October, and then I'm doing the Waltz of the Flowers for the Fresno Ballet Nutcracker.
Okay, so let me backtrack, because that you went really fast. So you have a show in this upcoming October?
Next October. This April.
2014.
I have a show in April of 2014, and I should say April 1st, and that before October, and then I have the Nutcracker. We're rehearsing for that as we speak.
So have you been working with the local Nutcracker performance for a while? Or?
I've supported the local Nutcracker for 25, 30 years.
Wow.
I've taken a hiatus the last 2 or 3 years, but they called me and asked me to do Waltz of the Flowers, and I said I would do that.
Wonderful. I had an aunt who just recently passed who, that was our memory. She would take me every winter to the Nutcracker. And then we'd go out to dinner or lunch or whatever, and it was such a special memory. So I'm trying to, I've taken the kids, I think, 3 times now, and even my son enjoys that. So it's a good experience for them. But I'm excited that you're bringing different choreography
Yes.
to Fresno. We're going to cut for commercial, but we'll be right back and share some more with you.
Okay.
Thanks a lot, Shirley.
This segment has been brought to you by Horn Photo in the Bellagio at River Park. For all of your photo and camera needs, go to Horn Photo in the Bellagio at River Park.
Family photos tell your stories. Faces, places, milestones, and moments. You probably meant to preserve those memories. But where are those pictures now? Hiding in boxes or inside the discoloring pages of old albums? Do you own hours of home movies and videotapes that you can't even watch? Slides and negatives that you've saved for all these years and you never get to see? Think of all those precious memories that you've saved from the past to share with the future. Thanks to technology, we're taking more photos than ever, but we're not printing them like we should. Those digital images are held hostage on phones, tablets, and hard drives, leaving them as high-risk targets for accidents and hardware failure. What will happen to all of these images that tell your life story? Cherish those captured memories, not by hiding them, but by safely saving them. Put this overwhelming task on your own agenda or enlist Horn Photo's expertise. Horn Photo provides hands-on help from day one with organizing, scanning, restoring, and duplicating photographs. We can digitize your print and video memories onto DVD for easy viewing and safe, efficient storage. All you need to do is gather your prints, slides, negatives, and videos, then bring them into Horn Photo, where we will care for your cherished memories. In most cases, you can pick up your originals and your DVD within a few days. Once everything is on DVD, it's easy and affordable to order copies of your DVD for your children, siblings, and the rest of your family, so that you can share your memories with everyone. The best part is what can happen once your memories are digitized. We will show you how to transform your pictures into keepsake photo gifts and products you can enjoy for years to come. Don't wait for a disaster to destroy your collection of memories. Take steps to sort, save, and share your life in photos, whether you do it yourself or have Horn Photo help. Stop into Horn Photo and see our full range of solutions for saving and sharing your precious memories.
You can advertise your business, your product, or your event on Central Valley Talk, the Valley's only internet television station. Several of our programs are also picked up on Dish and cable networks. For the best advertising dollar, call Central Valley Talk at 579-1360.
CentralValleyTalk.com.
Hi, well, we're having a lot of fun here today on Courageous Journeys. Right now, I'm speaking with Shirley Winters about her past in dance and what inspires her to be running a dance studio and inspire children and adults to follow their passion with dance. So we were just talking about choreography, but then I think we went into something else, and I just lost my train.
I think it's called Following Your Bliss.
So, following your bliss, talk to me about that.
I say that because if you follow your bliss, doors will open where you never knew they were able to. If you do what somebody tells you because you think you need to do that, that brings success as well. But following your bliss, you just kind of blindly go where that heart takes you, and good things will happen. And I hope I'm a part of that on the people I work with, that I help them see that this is part of their bliss.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure you are. I'm sure you are. Yesterday we had a guest speaker, and that was a lot of what we were talking about, because she's a local author and an inspirational speaker, and tries to work with, and a coach. So she works with people to find out what really do they enjoy doing, and where does their heart pull them, and how to make that into a business, because a lot of people don't have the first clue, even though they want to do it. Running a business and just enjoying doing something are two different things.
They are two different things.
So we have a clip that we'll go to in a few minutes, but first, on the business note, on running the business. What have been some of your challenges, or what are still some of your challenges in trying to do that?
Well, it's always getting new clients in, but actually I don't do that. I just hope that the word of mouth, what I do is every time I go into the room to teach, I say a little prayer. Let me be the best that I can be today for the ones who I'm working with. And somehow that creates an energy to help create a business.
That's a really good approach, because you're working on you and they have to work on themselves. And
we just try and create a good energy in that room, and then they'll tell somebody else about that energy of that room, and then create an atmosphere where there's a possibility for education, performing, and health. Spiritual health, physical health, mental health, and an art can allow that to be be a creative force for somebody to find in their life.
Most definitely.
I just had this little mission, and it just made its life. It created a life of its own. And now my daughter's joining me. She graduated from the University of Oklahoma with a degree in modern and ballet, because mainly I was working too many hours, and I had 2 elderly parents that needed help. And I said, before you go away, you got to come home this year and help me.
Yeah, you're in the crunch generation now.
Yes.
So you have your parents that you're helping care for.
Well, they passed this year.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But they were in need of my service. And so I said, you graduated, you come home and help me, and she's happy. We're having a great time together.
That's good. And I've seen her dance. She did a little performance the other day for the students, and at first I didn't know who she was, and then I realized after, that's Shirley's daughter.
Well, that was a male variation, and she was just having fun.
I noticed that, but that was great. I love that.
It wasn't the girl's part, it was the boy's part, but she was having fun doing that.
I'm all for trying out the boy's part. There's a clip, and hopefully you'll recognize what it's from. Don't laugh at me back there. That sounded weird, huh? There's a dance clip here from one of your dancers, and we're going to tune into that right now and take a look at one of your past students. This is one of your dancers from several years back.
Yes, we had that.
I switched it out on YouTube, and Shirley and I were just talking about. Hi, welcome back. Shirley and I were just talking about what you can find on the internet, and I was fortunate to find one of your past dancers on there that she did a lovely job.
Thank you.
And you have many dancers now currently too, but I didn't want to necessarily promote any one person, because there's always that, there's so many good dancers that I'm sure you're dealing with egos and all sorts of fun stuff.
Part of it. Hopefully we can come together as a group and wish the best for all of us.
Yeah,
that's the hope.
And you talked about how the different levels or the different generations are helping each other. I've witnessed that too. So do you just not even ask them if they're okay with that? You just instruct them, so-and-so help so-and-so, or how does that play out?
When they come, I say, this is what I do. I put you with a sister, somebody who will guide you through the process. You come in, this person will stay with you so you don't feel alone. And that you can come into the class, and that person's job, and as long as they're willing, and I would always ask them if they're willing to do this, for the few weeks or whatever is comfortable for them, to have somebody guide them through the class until they feel like they can become a sister to somebody else.
That's nice. I don't remember my daughter talking to me about that. Now, you mentioned a few things that are coming up next year, but if people want to find out more about being a student or having their children be a student, and since I don't think you have a website, right?
I'm getting one.
Awesome. Awesome. That's great. Well, right now she does have a Facebook,
Yes.
and if we can put that up at some point, that'd be great on the screen.
And I can't access it. My daughter has to do that for me, so sometimes she takes care of
That's
that.
okay. At least she's helping you with that. And
Yes.
there's some. We'll talk about that later, but I've been gathering a bunch of women and
Yeah.
kind of mentoring them on how to do things like that. And there's a lot of local classes that are for free to just
Yeah.
give you a little inkling of how that works. If you're interested. But fortunately, you have your daughter. to do it,
Well,
right?
I delegate.
Delegate. Delegating is good. Delegating is good. So back to how they can find out right now about classes
Well, they
and
can
what's
always
coming
call
up.
Shirley Winters Ballet, and they can always Facebook will tell them what shows are coming up, and there will be a website coming up soon.
And I noticed that your daughter did put, which just came up yesterday, I think, the new schedule and the new rates, which that's very useful because they change. Because you're just starting this week a new season. Right? So the seasons run when to when?
Well, I'm ongoing, but
The workaholics
Yes.
coming out.
that ballet world is
Yeah.
it's brutal. Unfortunately, if you're going to do that dance on a high level, it's a year-round.
You got to keep, yeah.
It's a year-round process. Wrestlers get their season, and the baseball season gets its season, but ballet is
nonstop.
nonstop. So
Yeah.
we go, but it does start. We do start a new year in the first part of September, and we're getting ready for our shows for the galas, for Youth America Grand Prix, for the Nutcracker, and so we are doing all that. And the gala this year in the spring is contemporary. It is not classical.
Oh, fun.
Last year was mostly classical, and then this spring will be all contemporary, and I will have a guest.
So you're going to get to do some choreography for that?
My daughter and I and other choreographers are working on that right now.
Oh, great. I'm excited.
And I'm excited to invite Dolce to join us.
Is Dolce coming?
Well, I've invited Dolce and I've invited other studios to join me in my galas. I had Fresno State a year ago. I had Severn School of Dance. I had Northwest Ballet. I invite them to join me in the gala. in
That's
the spring.
wonderful. That makes it much more interesting for everybody to see a variety of dance forms. And speaking of Dolce, you're working, we mentioned that earlier, you're working directly with some of the Dolce students and vice versa. In what?
They have
Technique?
they have to take a ballet class or two to be on their competitive team. And they come in and take a class from me as a Dolce ballet class to be part of their Dolce competition team.
Do you ever get any people who send their football players to you?
I actually have, and all kinds of stories. Ballet is the basis of the movement of gymnastics, ballroom, flamenco. A lot of flamenco dancers take ballet, modern dance, jazz dancers, anything that has that level of port de bras, which is arm movement, and arabesque. It's nice to have that background.
And form, huh?
And form.
That's what I remember distinctly, is that helps you, do so many
Well,
different
it sets those bones up. If you set up those bones to be primed to do the most efficient work. And those muscles can work better when those bones are lined up.
The bones and and the muscles,
Yeah.
the toning specific muscles to be able to hold your body and do all those different formats,
Well,
along
there's an
with flexibility,
yeah,
right?
There's an efficient way to work. And so if you work in an efficient way, you can use less muscle. And then you look effortless. And you have more energy to create in that movement, rather than use all your muscles just to do the move.
I like the way you put that, because I never would have thought of it that way. Well, once again, it was really an honor to have you
Thank
here
you.
today, and
Thank you.
I feel blessed that my children can learn from you.
Yeah, I'm
And
enjoying it very much.
maybe someday I'll get to do a class with
Yeah,
you too, if
I'd
there's
love
one
that.
that my daughter's not in. So.
Well, thank you so much for inviting me.
You're
I really
welcome.
appreciate
And
it.
once again, that was Shirley Winters with Shirley Winters Ballet, and they are located on the corner of Cedar and Herndon, as well as Dolce Dance Studio. So you can go there and find out more information or watch a class and see if your kid would be interested, or yourself taking a dance class. Thanks a lot, Shirley.
Thank you.
This segment has been brought to you by Horn Photo in the Bellagio at River Park. For all of your photo and camera needs, go to Horn Photo in the Bellagio at River Park.
Family photos tell your stories. Faces, places, milestones, and moments. You probably meant to preserve those memories. But where are those pictures now? Hiding in boxes or inside the discoloring pages of old albums? Do you own hours of home movies and videotapes that you can't even watch? Slides and negatives that you've saved for all these years and never get to see? Think of all those precious memories that you've saved from the past to share with the future. Thanks to technology, we're taking more photos than ever, but we're not printing them like we should. Those digital images are held hostage on phones, tablets, and hard drives, leaving them as high-risk targets for accidents and hardware failure. What will happen to all of these images that tell your life story? Cherish those captured memories, not by hiding them, but by safely saving them. Put this overwhelming task on your own agenda or enlist Horn Photo's expertise. Horn Photo provides hands-on help from day one with organizing, scanning, restoring, and duplicating photographs. We can digitize your print and video memories onto DVD for easy viewing and safe, efficient storage. All you need to do is gather your prints, slides, negatives, and videos, then bring them into Horn Photo, where we will care for your cherished memories. In most cases, you can pick up your originals and your DVD within a few days. Once everything is on DVD, it's easy and affordable to order copies of your DVD for your children, siblings, and the rest of your family, so that you can share your memories with everyone. The best part is what can happen once your memories are digitized. We will show you how to transform your pictures into keepsake photo gifts and products you can enjoy for years to come. Don't wait for a disaster to destroy your collection of memories. Take steps to sort, save, and share your life in photos, whether you do it yourself or have Horn Photo help. Stop into Horn Photo and see our full range of solutions for saving and sharing your precious memories.
You can advertise your business, your product, or your event on Central Valley Talk, the Valley's only internet television station. Several of our programs are also picked up on Dish and cable networks. For the best advertising dollar, call Central Valley Talk at 579-1360.
CentralValleyTalk.com.
Hi, and welcome back to Courageous Journeys. I have here with me a fantastic teacher from Dolce Dance Studio. Bless her heart, she got notified bright and early this morning that she was going to step in and represent Dolce due to the fact that, unfortunately, Kendra and Steve, who own the studio, have an emergency with their child. So that obviously is a priority, and we ask that you pray for him because apparently it's pretty serious illness. But I love Amber Brawley, and Amber Brawley is here today with us, and she teaches a few different, I think mainly jazz, but several different
I do
levels.
preschools, and I do like palm, like pep and cheer, like more.
And
like
you're doing that
palm.
outside of the studio too, right?
Yeah, I do that at Granite Ridge. I'm the
Oh.
8th grade pep coach over at Granite Ridge.
Okay, I'm surprised. Well, I don't have anyone doing pep now at Granite Ridge, but Kiki goes to Granite. She goes to Clovis North, and
Yeah.
Yanni's at
Yeah.
But so as far as your story and how long you've been dancing, did somebody inspire you, or your mom?
I started dancing. I took a when I was in preschool, we had a dance instructor come to the preschool and do a class in my preschool, and I just fell in love with it. My mom's like, and I'm an only child. I don't have any brothers or sisters or anything like that. So she just said, you know, let's try her in this class for preschool. And then I'm like, okay, I seriously need to be in dance. This is like what I was born to do. So she signed me up which was Guys and Dolls. And that was the first, Guys and Dolls was the original place I started. And then Guys and Dolls turned into Dance Rage, which Dance Rage is where Kendra is from, which is where the owner of our studio is right now, Dolce. And then I left Dance Rage to actually go teach at Dolce.
So do you and Kendra then you've known each other for a long time?
We've known each other for a while.
Oh,
yes.
nice.
Yes.
That's so nice that you can work together.
Yes.
And Kendra has had her own struggle with getting back the dance studio and going through some stuff. But she's going to come on another day and share her personal journey as not only a dancer, but as a dance studio owner. But
she went through a kind of an icky divorce.
Life happens.
Yes, it was just...
Life happens, and you got to focus on the things that are most important at that time sometimes, and sometimes not your business.
Right.
So, okay, so then you started dance instructing. How did you go from being a dancer and performing?
I started just TAing classes here and there. Like I would just help out the other teachers at the studio. Like, oh, I need help, with the preschool class. Can you help? And I knew that I've always, from like second grade, I wanted to be a dance teacher. Once I got into dance, I was like, we did this Martin Luther King art project when I was younger, and we said, I have a dream, and I made this t-shirt, and I still have it to this day. It's hanging in my closet, and it says, I have a dream to be a dance teacher. And I've always wanted to be a dance teacher.
Oh, I love
and
that.
help little ones. And I work mainly with the ones that are just starting out, the once a week kids, and I do competition kids as well, but I love working with the kids that have never danced before, that are coming in, that say, hey, I want to take a dance class, and watching them progress and to get better, and it's just so
you're
rewarding.
Perfect. She has the perfect character for that, because not only are you a good instructor, you're funny. You're funny, and you make them laugh and you make them relax, because it's hard to try something new, and especially the ones that come in as teens.
Absolutely.
That's a whole different ballgame.
Absolutely. They're coming in, they have their own insecurities and their own, just, I don't want that person to look at me, and I'm falling out of this turn and all this, and I love working with, that's like my favorite age group is the ones that just are starting out, that are actually a little bit older, because they actually, to me, they try the hardest, they are just so driven. So.
And a lot of them, this is their first opportunity, even though maybe they always wanted to dance.
Right.
Finally, financially, parents can do it. Finally, time-wise, I know for us it was with 5 kids. I really limited them when the older ones were at home with how many activities they could do, because we didn't have family at that time in town. And so, you can only be one place at one time. Mm-hmm. So I was so happy. We searched around. So for those of you that are out in the viewing audience, if you have a child that's a little bit older and you think that it's too late for them to dance, it's not too late. My daughter didn't start until I think she was 14, because she's been dancing over a year now. So at 14, coming in as a beginning dancer, and you've done an amazing.
She has grown leaps and bounds.
Done amazing things with her.
Amazing.
Yeah, she's another workaholic. So
I love her. Love her.
Another workaholic. So you work with the little ones too. Now you have 2 little ones of your own. Right?
I do. I have a 5-year-old and a 1.5-year-old, and they keep me busy. But being a mom and a dance teacher, and actually having my 5-year-old be a dancer as well, it's crazy.
Now, does your little 5-year-old listen to the other teachers better than you?
Oh, she will not take a class from me at all. She will not listen to me, will not do it. I try to work with her at home, and as a dance teacher, you want, of course, your child to be the best dancer, and I'm like, it's not happening.
Yeah. But your youngest, which is such a little cutie pie, she's such a little spitfire, she's boogieing. I watch her. She's like listening to the music.
Oh, she goes to town, and she's already got her leg hold. You tell her to do her leg hold, and she holds her leg up there and just pulls it, and she is a little spitfire.
She's really cute.
Thank
she's
you.
Really cute. I know. I'm fortunate. I have my parents now in town, and Grandpa Jimmy just loves flirting with her, and she loves coming and talking to him.
Oh, she comes right up to Grandpa Jimmy, and she just loves him.
Most of the time, kids, I don't like and are comfortable with me, but she takes a while to warm up to most people.
Yes, she does. But once you're in, you know what I mean? Once she gets to know you.
So even though you knew a long time ago that dancing was your passion, your mom is very supportive.
Very, 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 very.
And now
because I'm the only child, like I said, so it's always been me, myself, and me. And so she now has these 2 grandkids that she helps. She comes to the studio and is, helping me out, because I work in the evening times, and I love her. She is so supportive.
And you can still see them, and they can see you, which is challenging.
Yes.
Because I know for my own kids working out of home, OMG, when I was trying to disappear from them, I have like an office beyond the office.
Yes.
And they knew I was in there.
Mommy!
Let me in! I'm like, I'm ignoring them.
Yes.
And I have seen it once or twice, like the little one, want to come to you. But as a dance teacher, maybe it's not such a problem.
It's not that bad, because I just know that I have big sister's there, and she's with, Grammy back there waiting, and she's, they're fine.
They are.
Yeah.
They're doing fine. And they're watching you do something that you love.
Yes.
And I think that, at least my daughters tell me that that's very inspirational for them.
Mm-hmm.
To know that Mom, no matter how many times she's failed, keeps getting up and dusting off myself and let's do it again, you know.
We always clap for people that fall on their butts in class, because they're trying so super hard. It's like they're falling out of that turn on the floor, and
I probably wouldn't want you to clap for me. I'd be like, no.
I know, but it's almost like people are just like, that's a good job. You did a really good job trying that turn. You gave it your all, but you fell on your butt, and keep going,
So you mentioned you don't always work with the competitive teams, but you do work with the local competition teams.
Yes, I do the local competition teams, which we do about 3 competitions locally a year, and they compete here in town and just get the feel of the stage and getting on the costume and the lights and that whole thing and performing.
Well, and you have they're packed.
Mm-hmm.
It's packed. I mean, we have to, and we're not allowed to save seats, but the audience, there's a lot of family that comes and supports their dancers.
Yes.
And then usually at those competitions, you have other local dance studios as well.
Yes.
And when we say it's a local competition, is it strictly, what are the geographic?
We do. They're mostly local studios that do attend, but there could be some that come from Merced and Visalia.
Oh, they can?
Yes, they can. Anybody can come to the competition, but we just mean locally, like we perform in our hometown. So.
And then as far as the now nationals. Now Dolce went to nationals.
Yes, we do our nationals in Las Vegas. So we did our nationals this year in Las Vegas.
Studios from all over the
all
U.S.?
All over, yes.
So that must be huge.
Yes, it is huge. And they did really, I wasn't there because I had to stay home with my babes and actually teach all the classes while they were all competing, but I heard they did exceptionally well.
So do you know what kind of numbers that they get as far as studios and
how many different studios you may have there? I'm not 100% sure.
No, that's okay. I know it's a hard
it's not like 2, it's like
There's
maybe 10, 15, 20, just something like that.
And then do you know anything about the criteria to be able to participate in that event or no?
You just have to you have to do a regional competition to qualify for the national.
Okay,
so you have to be able to qualify to do the nationals.
So this year, they're bringing together some teams that are newer dancers, like year 2 or 1, some teams to hopefully make it into nationals. So does that mean then that they're going to be working on the choreography and then they're going to audition to get into the nationals?
For nationals? No, we have our competition tryouts once a year. We actually just had it this past weekend. Once you audition, we select the teams that people are on, and then we train all year. Well, not all year, but we train for a few months before we have our first competition. And then after we do our first competition, it depends on which competition we decide to go to. Say that the competition is called Showbiz. We do the regional, like say that there's one here in town, or say it's in San Jose. We do the regional first, and then once we qualify and everything like that, then we still work all year until July is when normally
on the same dance.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's good.
And there's some that are in numerous dances, so they're still working on all of their dances. Yeah,
that's challenging.
Yes,
I know. Mine was worried that, how am I going to not mix up that dance with that dance? I'm like, isn't it different music? But even saying that, when you're nervous, forget it. I've been putting my foot in my mouth during doing this show. How many times?
Yes.
Because, it's hard to remember where you were trying to go, even whether it's with your body or your mind.
Absolutely.
How do you help kids? Do you have a way you help them with that?
Oh, gosh. No. I don't know.
Well, repetition.
Yes,
right?
Yes, yeah. Doing it over and over and over again, and just, I'm a teacher that I like to teach with keywords and do little, phrases to help them remember. Just for an example, like I'll just be like, Tarzan right, Tarzan left, down and up and a shake, shake, shake. So we give them little keywords so they actually they take that and they go, okay, she said that we're doing Tarzan, so they actually I think that helps
It
a
does.
lot because little kids like little things like that, and me being the funny teacher that I am, I say some, my little keywords that I say, and they like take it and they're like, oh, I know exactly what she's talking about. And when she practices at home, they,
Well,
know
words
that.
of association. Words of association can help you with learning lots of things in life.
Yes.
When you, even names.
Yes.
When you associate the name with something, then it helps you remember the name. So that's a good technique. I never would have really, even though I had dance teachers doing stuff like that,
Right.
it didn't register that that's what we're doing at the time.
Yeah.
So, and working with the young children, what age group do you start at?
About 2.5.
Oh, how little.
Yes, so once they're potty trained and they can actually, every kid is different though. That's the thing, is there's some kids that come at 2.5 and they might not be ready, but we have them at least come and try and we evaluate them, but we start at 2.5 and we go all the way up until, 18, 19 adults, so.
So when they're that young, okay, over the years, I have 4 little kids, and sometimes it's better when the student's parent leaves the room.
Yes. Yes.
Is that the same
Well,
dance?
Yes, as we normally don't have the parent in the room. If it's our first time and they're shy, we'll say the first maybe 2 times the parent can come into the room, and then they can either be at the viewing area where you can look through the window, or sometimes actually mom has to totally leave, and they actually do so much better that way. But majority of the kids, their parents are just out in the viewing window watching, and they're fine. But there are a few that really mom has to say hi.
Well, and sometimes it's parent who creates that atmosphere with their child that they really need to go. So we will talk about that technique a little bit more. Okay. Starting from one, then into the bigger ones when we get back, and then some of your upcoming events that you have will all take in the forms of competition and local performances. Okay. So we're gonna go ahead and cut commercial, and thank you for showing up. Yeah, no problem. Thanks for having me. Looking like this. Thank you. See.
This segment has been brought to you by One Photo and Bellagio at River Park. For all the photo and camera needs, go to One Photo in the Bellagio at River Park. Many photos tell your story. Faces, places, milestones, and moments. You probably not observe those memories. Where are those pictures now? Hiding in boxes or inside the discolored pages of old albums? Do you own hours of home videos? YouTubes you can watch? Slides and ASD you saved for all these years and never get to see? Think of all those precious memories you saved from the past to show the future. Thanks to technology, we're taking more photos than ever, but we're not printing them like we should. Those digital images are held hostage on phones, tablets, and hard drives, leaving them as high-risk targets for accidents and hardware failure. What will happen to all of these images that tell your story? Cherish those captured memories, not by hiding them, but by safely saving them. Put this overall task on your own agenda, or enlist Horn Photo's expertise. Horn Photo provides hands-on help from day one, with organizing, scanning, restoring, and duplicating photographs.